We Steal Secrets, the story of Wikileaks, is a brand new directorial effort from social political documentarian and filmmaker Alex Gibney, a man whose work in the past I've actually really quite enjoyed, in particular his interpretation of Freakonomics, and of course the film that made him most popular, Taxi to the Dark Side, both well-rounded, robust and interesting documentaries, both documentaries that I actually really liked. I wish I could say the same about We Steal Secrets, particularly given the source material that is presented at its core, but unfortunately, I can't. There's a number of problems I have with We Steal Secrets, but the one that is most consistent, the biggest issue I have with it, is the one that continues to just kind of gnaw away at the film through its entirety, and that's the direction which it takes. Here, Gibney has a wonderful, bountiful source of material. This really interesting, reflective and impactful concept of Wikileaks, what it is, how it started, where it came from, how it developed, why it's continuing to go, the impact it's had with what it's done. There is so much to mine from this, and yet his intentions are totally to the side of everything that could be interesting. There are moments where it dips into that, and it is quite insightful and informative and interesting when it does, but the concentration is not on that and more on the demonizing of two particular characters. The two characters of which I refer to are, of course, the WikiLeaks founder and figurehead Julian Assange, and the US Marine who gave WikiLeaks its groundbreaking documents, the ones that kind of really propelled it to the forefront of media spotlight, Bradley Manning, who is currently in the minute under arrest facing charges of treason, I believe, and espionage. Granted, both of these are two extremely key figures to the existence of WikiLeaks in its current state and the history of it. Essentially, both play very different but major parts in what is WikiLeaks and the story of WikiLeaks, which is what the title of the film infers it is about. But instead of kind of digging in and kind of questioning why and looking at the impact that it's had, like I said before, it just seems more content on kind of excusing their behaviour or demoralising them. In the case of Julian Assange, it questions his mentality, his narcissistic tendencies, and basically it kind of feels more like a character assassination. But it's Bradley Manning who really gets the brunt of Gibney's direction, which just seems to be really kind of ugly and very angry, and it seems to be kind of off-putting in a sense. Bradley Manning, who obviously was very kind of torn between what to do with the information that he found, is really kind of demonised in We Steal Secrets, because the emphasis is put not on his decision and the impact it's had and the reasons why he's done it, but it kind of focuses and kind of makes a scapegoat of the fact that he has gender identity issues, and that is pulled up and it is reinforced constantly throughout the film, and it just feels kind of cheap and nasty and ugly, and it serves no real purpose, and it just kind of, I found it very off-putting. I mean, here is a man who has took a huge burden upon his shoulders, and he has done something that he feels right, and he's already been demonized for the act that he's done, but it just feels like his total character is assassinated in this film, not because of what he's done, but because of the fact that he has gender issues, and it almost implies that there is a level of cowardice tied to this, and that's where the ugliness of the film comes in. Aside from that, it's very just misleading, and it strays you off to a different path. I mean, the title alone is very misleading because it seems to be applied to WikiLeaks, the fact that they steal secrets, but the title is actually lifted from a quote by a former CIA director about the US's communication tactics and their ploys in terms of gathering information. It is just filled with issues, and it just has this very ugly, underhanded side to it. And it's a shame because, as I said, I've enjoyed Gibney's previous work, and I think with a source material like this, he seemed like a really interesting director to kind of tap into that particular source. But the direction he's took, it's kind of knocked me off the film. I'm going to give it a 4 because there are moments in which the film is kind of interesting and informative if you aren't particularly up to speed with the whole realm of WikiLeaks history. But the underhanded side of it, the ugly underbelly of the film, it's kind of off-putting, and it's kind of knocked me off Alex Gibney as a director, and kind of feel like I'm going to be a little bit more wary going into any more documentaries that he may make in the future. You may have a completely different view and interpretation of the film. If you do, let me know. If you've seen We Steal Secrets, the story of WikiLeaks, let me know what you thought of it down below. And if you like what you've heard in terms of all the other content on the site so far, hit that subscribe button.